This is Lexicon, and we are going to use the unusual Gadsby deck on the hardest migration. It gives us no E's, but we start with 10 seeds, which are the game's currency. And so we hope to have an extra feather after we reach our first store. We need to reach a distance of 40. We multiply flaps by power. For flaps, we get 1 per standard letter, 2 per speckled letter, 5 for gold, and for power, it's based on the word length. So I will get rid of almost all of these letters. Ideally, I would like to write a 6-letter word, but I don't have that, so we will go with 5. That gets us part of the way, but not all of the way. If we run out of discards, we lose the game. S-I. Can't write sirloin. See, the discard turned to forfeit. Joins. The gold letter was worth 5 flaps, and that got us the distance. Plucked is an interesting feather. There are 5 feather slots, and at the start they are all empty, so it is highly valuable, and it gets less valuable as we fill up our slots. But at this point, at these distances, we can play pretty much any letter and get there immediately, which is good for the seeds. It means we have the maximum number of words left. And there we have our first E. We hope to have more E's after we get a song. Songs let you change your deck, hopefully upgrading it. We need to use the E, Y-E-A-R-N-S. 6 letters gives us 4 times power, 7 gives us 10. It is very hard to write a 7-letter word with 7 letters in our hand, but it will be easier once we have more than 7 letters in our word. In our hand, we can get a feather that gives us more letters, and we can get an expedition that will get us more. So we will use the tweet to get more E's. So we will turn a Y and an H into E's. S-T-E-A-M-E-R. And now look at the power of a 7-letter word. That's really good. 3 words left. We are going to take the odd duck, which will discourage us from playing 6-letter words. R-A-T-I-O. But with a 5-letter word, we get somewhere. Not where we would like to. Eating. In. Alright, we'll get rid of the C. Jeans. Sometimes you can do well with a shorter word if the letters in the word give you a lot of flaps, as these did. We are looking for feathers that upgrade over time. We will get rid of the odd duck, we will add Longfellow, we will add an asterisk, and we pay 5 seeds to restock. We can buy one of these letters. You want to balance your power and flaps. And so the flaps that we have is the ing. This one is hard to get because you cannot fulfill the conditions of the ing with an asterisk. You have to actually get an ing. So let's see if we can get that. Leaning. We will have 30 flaps, and it's now 6 words or longer plus 10 power, and we still have 2 empty feather slots for another 10 power. We might get there in 1. Yes, in fact, we got there. We did extremely well. And we get +1 hand size, so that was the expedition that gave us an extra letter in our hand. And now the game will start to get easier. Jabber. This is 6 letters long, but that activates Longfellow. And of course it has high value letters in it. It did not end in ing, but it was still very good. Now we have an in. But we will not get an ing. Exeter? Is that a word? No, exciter is a word. Tinier. Tinier. Also, we got at least 6 letters. We did not end in ing, but that was enough to get us the distance. And we have an asterisk. We want to keep adding asterisks to our deck because the wildcard asterisks will also help write 7-letter words. We were dealt an ing. Is sooting a word? If it is not, we have discards. But that might also get us the distance, plus 30 flaps. It did. Now when I evaluate feathers, I evaluate the power they offer times the odds that they will activate. Although this is very powerful, it is not going to activate on most of our words. Because it will not activate often, I eventually want to get rid of it. J, J-I-B-I-N-G-S, is that? And let's make that letter gold. J-I-B-I-N-G-S. No. So let's get rid of those and see if we can get an ing. We did not. S-Q-U-S-E-Q-U-I-N-S. Sequins. No ing, but with that many gold letters, we did very well. L-P-P-A-L-A. So I started with place, but then I realized I could write palace. And then put an S on it. S's are very valuable in this game because they can make a word one letter longer. That extra length usually translates to extra power. I don't like any of these letters. I am not going to get back-to-back double letters. I do not want to write three-letter words. So we will take the Z that reduces the power of plucked without really giving us much. But I did get an ing. Okay. Outing. R-O-U-T-I-N-G. 7 letters ending in ing. We don't need the Z. 988. This game is very finely balanced. You will find very often that you get close to the distance without reaching all of it. S-A-I-L-E-D. And then we can add this blank in by turning sailed into sallied. And that gets us another 7-letter word. I want to keep playing 7-letter words because I eventually want to get a feather whose power upgrades for each 7-letter word that we have played. We will purchase an E, but if we do so, we will sell Zimmergy, we will sell Plucked, we will restock, and we can buy that. So I've already played 7 7-letter words, and we are now going to get plus 49 power. Is there anything that could give us flaps? Not really. I could get an asterisk. I will keep this birdie going, but I don't think I will need it as long as I keep writing 7-letter words. So 7 times 7 is currently worth plus 49 power. That would add an extra 10. That would be 59 power. Of course, if I get hands like this, I also hope to get one that upgrades based on the number of T's that we have played. Exacts. T-A-X-E-S. That will not activate Longfellow, but we still have birdie going. B-R-A-I-N-E-D. 7 letters. I will add the S. I already explained why I like the S's. 1300 for +1 word. And we have -1 discard. B, P, K, L. We will keep the G, M, O, V, E, R. We did not activate Longfellow, and even without that we got halfway there. We have trail, T-R-A. Now can I end with an I-G? No. T-R-A-I-L-S, 6 letters, which does activate Longfellow. Still not quite enough. But we have an ing. S-A-W-I-N-G. If I had more discards, I would try to write another 7-letter word, but it isn't worth it with only 1 discard left. So activating that ing made all the difference there, and we get +1 word. Hopefully we won't use the extra word, we won't need the extra word, but hopefully it will add to the number of seeds we get. J-O-I. We want to get something ending in J-O-L-T-I-N-G. That should get us there in one go because we did activate this one. And it's a 7-letter word, so our 7-letter word is now up to 56 power. And with the extra word from the expedition, we got 1 more seed. I'm glad to have gotten rid of plucked because now adding feathers won't reduce it. S-E-L-E-C-T-S. And let's transform that B into an asterisk. S-E-L-E-C-T-S. Selects. Another 7-letter word. We're now up to 9, that's 63 extra power. And we're doing well even though we only have 3 feathers in our hand. Now I could write W-I-R-I-N-G-S. It didn't end in an ing, but we might not need that. We're fine. So we have another chance of getting flaps if we use a U. A U is not my favorite letter. I prefer one that gives us extra flaps for E's. M-A-J-O. use that last discard. Ejects. 6 letters. No U, no ing, but still very good. Well, we could just write drains and finish this. Drains. Again, I don't like to risk that final discard. How many E's do we have at this point? We have enough E's, so we will take Kookaburra and try to add more asterisks. There we go. Enforced. 8 letters. I believe 8 letters counts towards Bingo Bongo, but let's see. That's a new thing. Yes, it did. Muster. Now we are going to activate United with this one, which will give us 10 flaps. We're getting more power than we need on that side of the equation, so it's getting flaps now. That's the hard part. And we get flaps again with ing. Tollling. That is 30 flaps. This will be an even better word. We just can't count on always getting ing. We will restock. We get one more chance to get flaps. We don't see any. So we will stick with what we have and save our seeds. Mourneed. Well, we didn't actually use a U, we used an asterisk, so this united does not activate. We got a quarter of the way. Equaled. Quailed. Another 7-letter word, starting with a bit more flaps just from the gold letters. But we're going to have to start using our discards, unless we get an ing. W. Well, that's a gamble, and we did. So, Dousing. This is a great word because it ends in ing for 30 flaps, it has a U for 10 flaps. So because of the peculiarity of our feathers, we should do well, even though these are feathers I do not like using. That was so good, it would have gotten us the distance the first time. And we will use rustling. Under the new game rules, you only get this once. We will double the number of seeds at the next stop. -1 hand size. That is a problem. That means we need an ing or a u. Trudge. So that will activate the U. Did not get us as much as I would have liked. Striker does not activate either of our flap word feathers, but got us some distance. And now with the blank, we are going to use our last discard, and we did not get it. Rainning. We will probably have to play a word as a discard. Not something I like doing. Foods. We are 900 away. Jeeps. We play a 5-letter word and hope it gets us there. And it did. That was certainly a risk. The expeditions are genuine challenges, and you can easily lose your game on them. We are going to go for an ing. We have in. And we have ing. So, SEATING with a wild card left over. Activating those 30 flaps gets us more than halfway there. Now we need to use the U. Lauded. Plotted? Is plotted a word? No. Oh, I have to spell it correctly. No. But lauded is a word. And it has a U in it, which activates this feather. And that was good enough. Mimic is an interesting feather song. It's a song that I use to get rid of a letter I don't like. So right now we are going to go for ing. P-A-R-K-I-N-G. Parking. We want to get U's, we want to get INGs. We did not get either. But we did get another 7-letter word. Currently our 7-letter word is getting us 140 power. IN, can we get a G? Or a U? Jointed. We did not get either an ING or a U. TASSELS. Well, if you're going to give us a 7-letter word, we'll use it, even though it still isn't activating either of those feathers. It does keep increasing the power of that one. Our last discard, and we did get a U. P-O-U-R-E-D. Oh, let's spell it correctly. And that got us there, with one word to spare. Tweet, chirp, screech. I don't like deleting words with the screech song. I don't need any more E's, so I have to take chirp. If I get a speckled asterisk, I will take that. L-I-O-N-S-E-A-L-I-O-N. Is that a word? No. So we will try to get the ing, which means getting rid of all of these letters, including a golden E. Even the S. I-S-S-U-I-N-G. We did not get the and we'll make one of the S's gold. I-S-S-U-I-N-G. We activate the U, but not the I-N-G. And we write another 7-letter word to keep making that stronger. We need a U. We could really use a U or an ING. MEETING. Again, we did not activate either of these two flaps. P-O-T-T-E-R. J-O-J J-I-N-N-S? Or can I have end with an I-N? J-I-N-N-S. We might lose here. F-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. That is a heroic quantity of letters, and it is just enough. I did not think that we were going to make it there. Now we want flaps. Okay, rather than ing, I would rather have to start words with these letters. N, E, S, or W. That is much easier. Then we will double our seed, which I forgot to do. Power, power, power. One more shot. Talons is very good. Or +1 power per gold letter played. So if we get rid of flaps per U, so to buy both of these, I would need 12. I have 10. I get rid of that one. I get rid of that one. I get and I would like flaps per enhanced letter. Whew. Okay. So we'll have to start words with N, E, S, or W. So if we get rid of those letters, S, L, A, T, E, D, we start with, I could have written elated, that might have gotten more, but now we have the flaps and all of that power. Earlier. And sojourn, S-E-A-R-I-N-G. So that starts with an S. To activate this, it adds a gold letter to our gold mine. Which should be good. Not quite good enough. M-C-V-I-S-O-J-O-U-R-N. Sojourn. With 2 gold letters that starts with a lot of flaps. It activates cardinal. And that's about as good as we can get from a single word. We will add a mimic. We are on stopover 20 of 22, and we still have an empty feather slot. N, E, S, or W. M-A-J-O-R, majority. M-A-J-O. Emitter. Transform the letter on the left to the letter on the right. Okay, let's get rid of that J. E-M-I-T-T-E-R. That is a lot of flaps just from letters, plus the 15 for cardinal. Gets us halfway there on the first try. If I still had ing, this would be good, but I do not. Nearing. And, oh. So I can end with ing. S-E-A-R-I-N-G. Reasoning. Okay, now, let's see. Oh, but that will not be as good because I want to start with an S. Oop. Swearing. That might get us the rest of the way. It was extremely close. I continuously admire how well designed this game is, in that you barely make it to where you're going. I also want to get 2 more seeds here. So that I can buy 1 more letter. Soldier. Snoozed. S-O-L-D-I-E-R. We will add 2 copies of the wild card. We have 5 words this time. We continue adding 7-letter words. We're currently on 29. That's a lot. Exiler. E-X-I-L-E-R. Does it matter if it's a 6-letter word? I don't think it does, and that saves us some discards. That scored better than our 7-letter word. O-R-T-H-E-R-N. Having all of these wild cards really helps. Northern. Playing this additional wild card also, by the way, increases our gold mine. And we do have exactly 8. Plus 10 flaps per gold letter. Not my first choice, but that is good enough. So we will be getting flaps per for cardinal and flaps per gold letter. Can't buy the E, won't buy the S. We will leave and try to finish now. 20,000. Potatoes. We, well, let's see. E-A, E-A-S-T-E, oops, Eastern. If I wasn't constrained by my feathers, I could write postern instead of eastern. I did not have any gold letters in there, but that was a very good start. Still no gold letters. E-N-G-R, engrave. E-N-G-R-A-V-E. Another 7-letter word. This one does start with E, and it has a gold letter, so that will be plus 25 flaps. This should score more than the previous word, which will get us the distance. It did not score more than the previous word, which had some platinum letters in it, but it scored enough. So here you can see that that a balance of flaps and power is important. The game as it currently stands will force you to use some feathers that you're not necessarily comfortable with. That is by design. I do wish the game designers would release the difficulty level that was released in the demo. That was an easier game. I think some people will be put off by the difficulty of this game, but as you can see, it is beatable. It has some luck, it has some strategy, and I believe that the strategy overpowers the luck. I hope that you see why I enjoy this game so much. That is the end of the final migration for Vertigo.